Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something incredibly personal. It's an intimate exploration of an invisible struggle that millions of us face, yet so few truly understand. It's a phenomenon our sources call the silent poison, the internal war of overthinking.
Picture this. Has this ever happened to you? It's 2 a.m. The whole house is fast asleep. The room is perfectly quiet. You've got your phone in your hand, but inside your head, oh man, it's an absolute roar. It always starts with a simple cascade, right? One thought ends and bam, immediately a second one begins, then a third, then a fourth. You're just lying there, staring at the ceiling, your eyes are heavy, you're desperately craving sleep, but your brain flat out refuses to let you rest. You desperately tell yourself, okay, just stop thinking. But the harder you try to shut it down, the harder your brain pushes back.
And that brings us to the core of what overthinking actually is. Listen, it isn't just thinking a lot. It's a silent poison. Why? Because it slowly, quietly consumes your joy, your peace, your confidence, and honestly, the beauty of life right from the inside out. People constantly mistake it for a mere habit, or just human nature, or even a sign of high intelligence. But in reality, it's a destructive force that people unknowingly become totally imprisoned by.
Our sources describe it with a quote that really hits the nail on the head. A war where you are both the enemy and the casualty. Just think about how tragic that is for a second. Overthinking isn't just having a busy mind, it is a brutal, completely self-inflicted battle happening entirely within your own head. You're fighting yourself, and you are the one taking all the damage.
Let's break down the anatomy of a fake scenario. Say you receive a late reply to a text. Instantly, your brain goes, wait, are they mad at me? Then it escalates, did I say something wrong? And before you know it, you're at, they are going to leave me. Do you see how fast that spirals? A tiny, completely insignificant moment can literally consume your entire night and mutate into this massive, fabricated tragedy.
So there is a terrifying contrast at play here. On one hand, you have the truth, which is usually just a brief, harmless moment in time. But on the other hand, you have the illusion, a completely devastating story that never actually happened. And that is overthinking's greatest, most dangerous trick. It has this incredible power to make absolute lies feel so much stronger and way more real than reality itself.
Section 1. The South Asian Burden. Living for society.
In certain cultural contexts, particularly places like South Asia, these haunting questions completely take over. What will people say? What will they think? Will they laugh? Will they leave? The perceived judgment of other people sits so incredibly heavily in the mind that a person can completely lose sight of their own actual life.
And this societal pressure manifests as these intense post-event spirals. You finish a job interview and your mind just loops, I gave the wrong answer. I shouldn't have said that. They'll never call. Or even after a casual conversation. Did I look weird? Did they judge me? These aren't just passing worries, guys. They are a form of agonizing self-torture, where everyday interactions are just endlessly replayed on a loop.
Section 2. Thieves of the present, stuck in time.
You see, the overthinking mind is essentially trapped. It's either anchored way in the past, constantly reopening old wounds, or it's projecting way into the future, constructing brand new fears. And here's the catch. True happiness is only ever found in the present moment. But because the overthinker's present is completely lost to this mental time travel, they are rarely, if ever, truly happy.
This dynamic creates a really profound split reality. Physically, you might look perfectly fine. Eating, sitting with friends, laughing. But mentally, you are somewhere else entirely. Fighting a violent internal war and carrying a massive burden. It really highlights the immense, isolating pain of knowing you are breaking on the inside, while literally no one else can even see it.
And that unseen battle takes a very real, measurable toll. It snatches away your sleep, it steals your inner peace, and perhaps most strikingly, it causes this severe, bone-deep physical exhaustion without you even moving a single muscle. Your body is just totally drained because your mind is operating like a relentless, unstoppable machine that simply cannot be switched off.
Eventually, this exhaustion spills right over into our choices, creating a complete paralysis of what if. The mind loops. Well, if I do this, what happens next? Leading directly to the ultimate dread, what if everything goes wrong? By constantly analyzing 100 different angles, you essentially freeze your own life in place, while the rest of the world effortlessly moves forward without you. And as the world effortlessly moves forward, those internal echoes just keep getting louder. Am I good enough? Can I actually do this? Will people accept me? These constant, nagging, self-doubting questions slowly chip away at your self-confidence until you feel incredibly small in your own eyes. Tragically, all this internal damage eventually radiates outward and starts destroying relationships. You start taking every single small thing to heart. You interpret a quiet moment of silence as flat-out rejection and a tiny bit of distance as pure hate. Before long, you're destroying a very real bond over a completely fabricated story. Deep emotional wounds are formed and connections are shattered, based entirely on illusions and magnified fears.
Section 3. The sensitive soul. A soft heart in a hard world.
Now, our sources point out a crucial piece of validation here. Overthinkers are not broken. They are simply carrying the burden of sensitivity. They feel small things deeply. They think with profound depth. They connect to others very quickly. But because of all that, they also break incredibly easily. While having a soft heart is a genuinely beautiful thing, it often becomes their greatest source of pain, simply because the world is rarely easy on sensitive people. Because they feel so easily broken, they pull away. They tell themselves no one will understand. What will happen even if I tell them? And this marks a truly tragic descent into isolation. The person distances themselves from the people they love because they genuinely believe that no one could possibly comprehend the chaotic noise going on inside their head.
But here's the thing, retreating into outward silence does not bring peace. In fact, the internal noise is always more dangerous than the noise outside. By shutting the world out completely, the screaming inside your head only becomes infinitely louder. And this brings us to the ultimate tragedy. There is a massive difference between merely surviving day to day and actually experiencing the joy of life. Overthinking slowly pulls a person so far away from actual reality and so deep into their own fears that they completely stop living and they merely exist.
I want to leave you with this really haunting thought from our sources. To kill a human, death isn't always required. Sometimes, overthinking is enough. Understanding this silent poison is the very first step to finding a cure. So you have to ask yourself, are you going to let the noise keep making your decisions? Or are you ready to finally step out of the illusion and start actually living? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.